okay, if you're going to give guidance, advice, if you're going to be an expert or an authority, then you got to qualify my three questions, which is first question, what's the most amount of money you've ever made in a year? Second question, what's the biggest thing you've ever built, qualified by revenue, number of employees, and profitability? And then third, what's the biggest exit you've ever had? I love talking to entrepreneurs who, especially like I used to be known as the hearing aid guy. Grant used to be known as the car guy. You were probably known as what, the HVAC guy, or the what would you have been known for if people met you 10 years ago?
Probably the tattoo guy first.
The tattoo guy. There you go.
The tattoo guy, and probably the electrician guy, right? Like
electrician guy.
Grinding it out, doing electrical work.
So there you go. So people are like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm an electrician. Like, and then they go tell their friend, I met this nice guy. He's got a bunch of tattoos. He's the electrician.
Right.
And you get kind of boxed into people's thoughts about who you are because of what you do to some extent. And then you rock a business where you become a multimillionaire, and then you do it again. And then you dedicate yourself to helping other people, which you and I, when we talked, we're so similar that way that's kind of what the inspiration is today. And so I love to share forward-thinking thought leaders who have actually done it, because, there's a lot. I don't know if you agree with this or not. I wasn't a social media guy, right? I wasn't, I was a conservative kind of traditional business operator. I got into the space and I started looking at all the people out there teaching how to build businesses and selling classes on it. And so I was like, oh, wow, this space is pretty saturated. And as I started going through it, I realized most of those guys had never actually built or sold anything.
Yeah.
So what's been your experience with the phony balonies, the bullshitters?
I think it's the same thing. Everybody thinks because they started something or they read a book that they're a guru. The fact that you read Think and Grow Rich. It's funny when I speak, and sometimes I speak to a couple thousand people. I always ask, like, who read the book Think and Grow Rich, and everybody wants to put their badge of honor on that. And I say, okay, but how many of you are rich? They're all broke, right? So maybe they don't know how to read the book. Maybe it's the wrong book. I don't know. But yeah, the world's filled with these guys today. And look, if they have good intentions, that's great, but they don't understand that. And you guys know this in your world. Like, there's a sense of responsibility of giving information to help somebody. You're not helping them make money. You're helping them remove pain from their family, which means if you do it wrong, you could be bringing on more pain and punishment to their family. So I think there's an ethical responsibility. If you're going to teach it, you better be able to walk the talk and have done it and be able to prove some results,
Yeah. My favorite three questions, which is why I hit it off with you, is, okay, if you're going to give guidance, advice, if you're going to be an expert or an authority, then you got to qualify my three questions, which is first question, what's the most amount of money you've ever made in a year? Second question, what's the biggest thing you've ever built, qualified by revenue, number of employees, and profitability? And then third, what's the biggest exit you've ever had? Now, if you're making $5 million a year and I want to make $5 million a year, I'm going to listen to you. If you've built a company with 1,000 employees, generating hundreds of millions and generating tens of millions of profit, and that's what I want to do, I'm going to listen to you. If you've exited something for 100 million or a billion or 10 billion, and that's what I want to do, I'm going to listen to you. If you hadn't done it, I tell people you should not be listening to them, because at the end of the day, just because, to your point, they've read about it, or they had a friend that did it, or they were along the ride. I'm sure you have some ex-employees that were like, I built this with him, but yet they didn't build the whole thing. They had their piece of it. So then you go and expect them to do it again, or they're all of a sudden an authority on it. There's so many missing pieces, and people are scribbling notes on how to do things. And to your point, if they go and apply it wrong, it can create more pain. And I think that's one thing when I talk to them, like the obligation when you do have this knowledge to try to help people, but then we have to sift through all the bullshitters.
Yeah. And a friend of mine, Brian Kurtz, super smart marketer, he said, when you've done it, you have a responsibility to share it when you've done it. Right. And then look, there's a lot of people out there even today, they're bragging, they've grown these big service companies and different things. And you look at it and it's like, yeah, you got revenue, but you're starving and you can't sleep at night. Your profit. And look, I know it too, because my profit at one time was about 2%. We might've been doing 20 million. Yeah, I thought I was the cat's meow. We had no profit there. And one day I was spending a half a day with Jay Abraham, trying to learn from him. And he looked at me and he said something that changed. He looked at me and he said, what's the profit? And I said, it's like 2%. It was like my daddy's like, that's horrible. That's all he told me. That's horrible. And when I left, I felt kind of like shamed and bad. And I was like, I got to fix this. And just for everybody listening, like, it doesn't take a decade to fix things. We literally went from 2% profit to double-digit profit in less than a year. And then a year later, for back then, it was a high multiple, let's just say, because I can't tell exact numbers, let's say it was between 7 and an 8 multiple, which in 2017 was huge. Today, Brandon, 22 multiples in the service industry. I mean, what are we talking about? We're talking about there's more wealth sitting in people's right in front of them. They don't even have any idea to capitalize on it.
No, and that's the part why that's why we're out telling it. I kind of pissed off, I did some podcasts to some of my friends that sold for 22 times in their private equity groups, and people out there weren't real thrilled because we're promoting what the potential value of a business is. And of course they want to buy it 6 to 8, right? They don't want to buy it at 15 to 20. So they want the arbitrage, and the average person, though, they haven't built a health, to your point, just because they have the revenues and if they're running 2%, they're not going to get that kind of multiple. Equally to your point is when you put your attention and your focus on it, and you put a structure and a strategy, and if you can get a little help, you can drive your business to be much more profitable. There's an old saying my friend used to tell me. He said, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. Yeah. Like, the more profit you can generate, the more sanity you're going to have in business, and the more you can invest in things to grow it bigger.